Hello, this is Mr. Bacon Bits, and welcome back to Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. We're going to be tackling Story Chapter 6 today, but first off, there's a couple of things I want to point out. After Chapter 5, you can unlock the ability to re-customize your player character. It just requires doing the normal mission Yardley's Scheme, and then the basic mission House of Cards, and you'll unlock this skip travel point hidden underneath the AD hangar. If you arrive at midnight, then Yardley will allow you to use the pod to change your avatar completely, even the gender and voice. I'm keeping mine the same, but the option is great to have. But anyway, last video I went over the mechanics of overdrive and how it works, but your main problem will likely be trying to maintain it for longer than like 20 or 25 seconds at best. So what would be the best method for trying to extend overdrive and actually make it useful? Well, it's all in the classes you aim for and the kinds of arts you have. The commando lines leading to Full Metal Jaguar and Astral Crusader have some very valuable skills you can pick up. The Winged Viper class has Mindscape and Hellhound, which can boost max TP by 1500 and extends overdrive duration by 10 seconds respectively. Full Metal Jaguar also offers Phantom Counter, which boosts overdrive count by 12 when activating it, and also has a crit chance booster during overdrive skill. Astral Crusader also has a skill called TP Overdrive, which gives 150 TP every time an art is used during overdrive. With those skills combined, plus an understanding of overdrive's color mechanics, you can practically make an unlimited overdrive build, and that can carry you through a lot of fights. I've been working towards unlocking these up to this point, and I will continue to do so. I generally recommend going this route of making overdrive more useful, because later on in the game there will be some rather mean difficulty spikes. Also on that note, you are going to need some way of avoiding damage during infinite overdrive, as the damage you'll be doing will inevitably attract aggro, and you are otherwise not invulnerable or stronger against enemy attacks during this mode. As an example, Dual Guns has two arts that activate Decoy, which offers complete invulnerability against a set amount of attacks. One of them is for yourself, and the other is for the entire party, so... Another option, which is actually a bit quicker to build but may require a bit of grinding, is making your character a healer. Building to extend overdrive infinitely is extremely effective for an offensive playstyle, but a healer build is extremely effective for a defensive playstyle. The biggest things you'll need to focus on for this is boosting potential, which not only boosts healing effectiveness but also boosts damage on TP arts, as well as equipping arts and skills to benefit healing, most obviously. The weapons that can offer the most healing options would be the knife, with dual guns to support it. So from there, the arts I'd recommend are Recuperate, Repair, Smooth Recovery, Secondary Speed, and Energy Source. To explain on the arts, Recuperate and Repair for basic healing with boosted evasion, Smooth Recovery obtained from Irina's mission Renewed Will, Secondary Speed as an aura for reducing cooldowns and obtained from Hope's mission A False Hope, and Energy Source for boosting TP and potential. For skills, assuming we're using the starting class for the max amount of skill slots, I'd recommend Healing Aura, Healing Touch, Inner Search, and then any skills that help with TP building, since the arts selection will be heavy on that. After that, equipment and augments that help with passive TP buildup and increasing potential should help, along with good soul voice synergy. As mentioned, it's a fairly easy thing to build up to compared to a pure offensive build, but it is still only one option out of many that you can choose. Just figured I'd mention these since at this point the story starts getting some difficulty spikes. Having said all that, now's about the time when you may need to start looking into outfitting your gear with augments and upgrading useful battle traits, if you haven't already. I've only got a few augments available, but we visited 3 out of 5 continents up to this point, so we can start grinding out enemy materials and other items for these augments and upgrades. You can get said materials either the old-fashioned way or through online. Keep in mind when upgrading battle traits, they are for that piece of armor only, and you're limited to whatever amount of upgrades that piece allows. Oh, also, just for fun, time attack missions are now available since we should be around level 20. They are offline and are for trying to take on stronger versions of story bosses for some rewards. At the moment, we can only tackle the Goetia boss and Noctilum, but if you want to see me do these, I've got separate videos for them alongside the online mission videos. There's also a significant amount of missions that have now become available, so here's the list. Also, I didn't really mention it before, but yes, I am playing the Switch 2 edition. I kind of been posting videos from that edition without acknowledging it, but essentially the Switch 2 edition just increases the frame rate to 60 FPS and increases the resolution to 4K and improves the texture quality in some aspects. I think in other aspects it's kind of bad, but hey, 60 FPS is pretty nice. So for tackling Chapter 6, I recommend being at least level 22 for your team. Not too much higher so that you're not over-leveled, but level 22 to 24 is a good range. If you're wondering, our team this chapter is going to be Elma, Lin, and Lau, although he's going to have to be off your team in order to start the mission. Just get him prepared too. I got my prep done off-screen, but I recommend having an equal coverage of ether, physical, thermal, and electric resistances. This will be hard to do, but there's going to be a fairly wide spread of elements you'll be encountering from the enemies, so you need to make sure you're not super weak against much. The thermal and electric are going to be needed against the big boss of the chapter. Thermal more so, but you need to make sure you're at least not in the negative for electric, or any of the other elements. As for the type of weaponry, I recommend bringing ether weapons. The final prerequisites needed are getting a survey rate of 20% at Noctilum, which can be done just by exploring and planting new probes at FN sites, and completing the A Friend in Need affinity mission, which I had uploaded before this video. And remember, we needed Lau all kitted up too, but we need him off the team initially before we can accept the mission. Okay, let's do this.
Don't just stand there! Push back! We can't let them get close! Even our Skells are powerless before them.
Continuing to persist here is meaningless. It will only serve to thin our ranks.
After all this time, we've finally found a clue that may lead us to the Great One.
With respect, the phenomenon space surrounding this planet is only 800 exodents in diameter. 3 days at light speed is more than enough to scour it thoroughly. If the Great One or the Samar Federation homeland were here, don't you think we would have found something by now? It's one thing to engage the enemy all the way out near that forsaken chunk of rock they call Earth. But then to be swallowed up by that strange light and dumped off here in this primordial hellhole? Are we cursed? And trapped with humans of all things. It's like some sick joke. If someone told me this was death, I'd believe them.
All the more reason to persist. We must retrieve it if we ever hope to escape the confines of this phenomenon.
Grandmaster Luxo,
Speak.
I bring news.
Really? And he can be trusted? Most interesting. Yes, a most interesting proposal indeed.
What should I whip up today? That is a great idea!
Lindley! Lindley! What is Lindley making?
Beef braised in wine. Hey, Tatsu, why don't you relax and take a bath before dinner? Got one all ready for you.
Tatsu love nice and hot bath before eating. Did Lindley use bath salts? Color and smell is lovely, just like it. Lindley, this is not bathtub. This is pot of boiling wine.
Little Spud's smarter than he looks. I suppose I'm just gonna have to use regular old beef instead.
Lindley is not funny. Lindley is not funny.
Okay, everyone, let's eat.
Now that was a meal. I'm impressed, Lynn. My team could learn a thing or two.
I'm glad you liked it.
But you didn't stop by just for a meal, did you?
No. You know me, Elma. It's about a job.
It would seem to us the good sir would like to pick our brain. Of course, we will gladly let him in one ear and out the other.
Almost, El. Almost that time.
An alien mech? What type?
No idea. It doesn't match anything on record as far as I can tell. No one's seen anything like it. It looks abandoned, too. Totally ripe for the picking.
Oh man, you're giving me goosebumps!
Right? It's located here.
That's pretty deep in Noctilum. No wonder you wanted to talk to El.
Exactly. But here's the rub. The Ganglion are after it, too. From what we can tell over Frontier Nav, they've gone after it several times already, and failed.
Well, yes, that doesn't surprise us in the least. That's tainted land.
Tainted? That doesn't sound good.
They are savage beasts. Ferocious, insatiable.
He's talking about these.
We didn't run into anything like that in Noctilum, did we?
The tainted are territorial. They only dwell deep within a specific part of the forest there. Although it doesn't seem right to even call it a forest anymore.
Why do you say that?
Because the tainted devour any and all living things, Apart from other tainted, that is.
You mean even mighty Tatsu not safe?
Indeed, you would be swallowed whole. The tainted would make no bones about you, I'm afraid.
Interesting. They must be formidable to be defeating the Ganglion over and over.
But if what Elle says is true, it could work in our favor.
Right. Our bodies are artificial MIGs. If the tainted don't perceive us as living things, we might be safe.
Let's back up a sec. You reported all this to the commander? Our top priority above all else is supposed to be searching for the lifeboat. Are you suggesting we set that aside to try and recover this mech?
Exactly. Commander Vandam is why I'm here. He specifically requested I enlist your team. It's just as you say. There's no time for us to screw around. And we still absolutely need to find the lifehold. But remember, the fact is we're also dealing with hostile Xenos here. Xenos who destroyed Earth and want every last one of us dead. Xenos who also seem to want this mech. And desperately.
And if it's that important to them?
Right. What if it's a secret weapon, powerful enough to tip the scales?
Feels like a bit of a long shot, to be honest. But okay. Even if we can't use it, we should at least keep it from the Ganglion. Count us in. Any objections?
No, ma'am.
Glad to hear it.
But if we're going to take this on, we'll need to keep it quick.
Roger that. Elle and Tatsu, you hang back. Unlike us, the tainted would target you guys for sure.
Oh, most considerate of you, good sirs.
Oh, Lindley! Lindley care about Tatsu after all!
Well, of course. After all this time watching over you and fattening you up, I'm not about to let my prize turkey go to some rabid indigents.
Everybody set?
Yes, sir. Ready to go.
Someone's excited.
Just doing my job.
Speaking of which, it's pretty amazing you made White Whale crew at your age. You have family here?
My mom and dad passed away. They didn't make it.
That day? The attack on Earth?
No, sir. It was before that. An accident.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. My parents were both design engineers who worked on the White Whale project. But there was a mishap with the primary engine test. Still, it's thanks to them and people like them that the rest of us are all still here, you know? They made the White Whale spaceworthy, so they didn't die in vain. At least, that's what I like to think.
I see. So they gave you a spot on the White Whale to say thanks. Thanks to your parents for all their hard work.
It's a debt I try to repay every day, helping out folks any way I can.
Don't misunderstand, Lau. Lynn earned her spot on the crew like anyone else. It was her talent and determination that made it happen. Her parents' positions provided an environment for her to learn in, but that's it. Lynn got to where she is now entirely on her own.
It's okay, Elma.
No, she's right. Sometimes I talk before thinking. Sorry about that.
Don't be silly. You don't need to apologize to me, sir. Now, shall we get going?
And now we get to put Lau back in our party. So that explains why we couldn't bring him with us before starting. Let's skip travel to Noctilum. I'm gonna go to the edge of the southern forest because that's the extent of where we explored last time. One thing I did want to bring up is that we'll most likely be encountering enemies past level 20 from now on at this point. All enemies higher than 20 will now have enrage auras that will activate when their health is low, so beware of that. But wow, what intrigue! The Ganglion got transported to Mira by that flash of white at Earth, Luxar's looking for the Great One, whatever the hell that is, and sinister-looking dark creatures are guarding a mysterious mech. So many questions. But yeah, just heading through here. I see a treasure between those trees, but I am not walking in there because there is a creepy stick enemy. He's just kind of like sticking out of one of the trees. Some of those enemies tend to like to blend into the environment to scare the heck out of you. But yeah, now we're in a part of Noctilum with gigantic trees. Mind the like level 27-ish enemies here. They will aggro if they see you. Now we're moving into the lake area. But yeah, as you can see, we only explored a tiny bit of Noctilum in Chapter 4. And since the way we need to go is north, yeah, there's like a ton of interesting vistas to see. I would say it's probably the most varied continent with a lot of different sites. In fact, we're coming up to a unique-looking place called Ganglion and BLADE. This place has a lot of interesting flora, including blue grass. Not bluegrass as in the, like, you know, music genre, but like actual blue-colored grass. The colors pop a lot more during daytime, but I'm not going to be, like, changing the time of day just for the sake of it. So, mimeosomes, right? The last chapter revealed that we are all not actually in our own organic bodies, but rather remotely controlled from the lifehold. Kinda crazy to think about, but I wanted to bring attention to the kind of fluid the mims use. Or rather, the blood. You saw a bit of it in that chapter, but essentially, mims have blue blood. Not only to distinguish from real human blood, but there's actually some kind of meaning to a blue blood. If you're not aware, a blue blood essentially describes someone of a higher social class, or from certain well-regarded lineages. The term's origin likely derives from medieval Spain, describing the rich and powerful families of Castile, who tended to stay indoors to let laborers do all the work. Their lack of exposure to the sun caused their skin to become pale and their veins to appear blue, and thus the term has been used to describe nobility of higher class. Now, does that mean anything in regards to mimeosomes? Well, all I have to say is remember that. We're getting past the Ganglion and BLADE here. I showed how much farther we have to go. The Great Nail. I'm thinking of, like, Dragon Ball Z. You know, nail. But yes, technically I have explored past this area, but I'm doing this for the sake of story reasons. You know. I don't want the viewer, such as yourself, to be missing anything in terms of like where I'm going, what I'm doing in this game. If you're only just following the story chapters and required missions, you know, figured I'd do this. So, like, even though you see some side mission videos taking place in other regions we haven't explored yet, I wanted to do the proper introduction to those regions when it's appropriate in the story. So, kind of similar to how the game treats these things. Those weird worm-like creatures, they won't bother you as long as you don't attack them. At least I'm pretty sure. They're kind of freaky looking, not gonna lie. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, this is an unexpected fight. This... Yeah, I don't know if it's actually, like, story-related, but I believe you can avoid this fight. If it is story-related, you'll be seeing the enemy info on the sides of the screen. But, otherwise, just, either flee from this thing or take down its appendages so that it'll have less to work with. Also, this is a good opportunity to, like, build up your TP so that you can have overdrive for later.
And do some damage. I'll make them hurt.
Keep shooting!
Is that it? Nice work.
Right. I am also going to put in that decoy art into my palette so that I can have an option for invulnerability. This thing right here, Ghost Walker. The other one is called Ghost Factory. That one actually provides invulnerability to the entire party for a set amount of attacks. So that one would probably be better to replace with once you unlock that art. Getting to daytime just in time. And look at this area, Blood Pond Basin. As you can tell from the enemies over there, on the other side of the Blood Pond, there is a Ganglion base over there. And we are actually going to have to infiltrate it in order to get to where we need to go. At least if we're heading in this direction. There is a different way, but it's kind of like out of the way. I kind of cut ahead because it's been a while. I forgot that I had to go through here. So let's take care of any enemies in the way. I probably am going to be skipping a lot of these fights because you can avoid them. Any fights that are not mandatory, I will be skipping over. I believe I mentioned that already earlier on in the playthrough. I'm just being a little too overly cautious here. I guess I think those mechs have a lot more sight range than they actually do. But hey, like, taking down the enemies is good for leveling up. Like arts, classes, just general level ups. Making sure you have TP up so that you can have a better benefit for future fights.
Let's
you know,
go.
Nice.
it's all good stuff.
Ask questions later.
this strong when I needed to be.
Let's go.
Locked and loaded.
Lynn, what do you say? We feast on the talking potato tonight?
I say we fatten him up another 500 grams or so.
Lotus Keep building site. Okay. Another Ganglion base here. It's surprisingly not very populated. Yeah. Wonder what the deal is with that. I'm just gonna head around this way. Yeah, see, that's the other way we could go. Like from, like, the west side of Noctilum. Just, like, cross the lakes. Somehow find a way up here so that you can, like, cross the lakes and enter the Lotus Keep building from that. Yeah, enter the Lotus Keep from, like, that side of the, from the west side. It's a neat-looking area over here. Yeah, in case you're curious, the, discolored water is definitely a hazard. It doesn't actually hurt that much, but I don't want to, you know... I don't want to take any chances, you know?
Which way?
If we go straight, we should hit some caves that lead to our destination.
Okay then, let's go.
Okay, good to know. The game felt it was necessary to have a short little cutscene to tell us where to go from here. I'm just gonna take this because there's a couple of items that will benefit from clearing basic missions, so yeah. Leah, Lily, and Hexacages. Alright, let's head the actual way we need to go. Deadman's Ingress, BC. Okay. Base camp. Unfortunately, this is not a respawn point, so it's gonna make something a little later kind of aggravating. There's a lot of hidden germivores in this area. You can easily take them on at this level. They're just not strong enough to pose much of a threat if you're around the same level. I've got enough TP to do overdrive if I want to, but as I said, I'm going to be saving it.
Oh, they've seen us!
I don't think they'll let us walk away.
Also, if you go through here during the day, there will be some higher level flying enemies around, so probably best to go through at nighttime, so that you don't accidentally aggro the flying enemies. The papals.
One more hit.
Now, towards the end of this trail, you'll get to a cave entrance. There is a very strong tyrant guarding said entrance. Yeah, see that thing? That's the tyrant, and I didn't see it.
Not what I was hoping to run into.
Level 40! Clearly way beyond our league. I think I would have been fine if I just dashed through the cave, but, well, I'm gonna die here.
One more hit.
All the way at the FN site. So there are two ways to get around this tyrant. Either use Elmo's Shadowrunner trick like this, or hug the right wall as much as you can. You can just get around its detection range if you do that.
They're off guard.
But after that, all you have to do is, like, fight through a couple of phalluses, and we'll get to our destination.
Balance break! Got him! Lay down some cover fire! First down!
Appendage destroyed.
My forte, but if you insist.
Wild down!
Arcing horn!
Close in!
I'll make it hurt.
I don't think they'll let us walk away.
Engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
I'm on it! Balance breaker!
I'll blast them wide open.
Spiral horn!
Side flash.
Sidewise!
Go flying.
Arcing horn! Now
Destroyed. Move in and strike. Side flash. I'll make them hurt. Shadow Runner. Did that work? Then move in and strike. Upper hand.
first down!
Primer! Shadow strike.
Balance breaker!
Oh, thanks. Give yourself a boost like that.
Good enough.
Let's go.
Starting to come across some half-eaten phallus corpses. Dead Man's Gulch.
This means we're getting close.
Yeah, it's just ahead.
Elma?
Relax. They won't bother us if we don't bother them.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but...
Really unnerving being here, but we should be fine as long as we don't attack any of these tainted. Remember, they only sense organic beings as prey. Convenient we found out we're just robots in the previous chapter. We would have been heavily confused. At least there's a bunch of Ganglion wreckage we can salvage here. And of course the FN site over here so that we can just transport up here. Also, yeah, now it makes sense that they, like, restricted our party for this specific chapter. Because, they want to make sure it makes sense narratively. Just in case you brought, like, L with you. Yeah, just in case you brought L with you, he's not actually a robot. Wouldn't have made sense if he couldn't be detected here, right? But, you know, thinking back on the events that led us here, it's kind of interesting. Two alien factions, the Ganglion and the Ghosts, fought each other over Earth over the seemingly shared goal of eliminating the human race, for unknown reasons. The Ghosts attacked the ship by phasing through its hull and attacking from within, only to be successfully fought off by an unknown man who disappeared into space just before Mira came into view. How odd. Surely all of that stuff is going to be explained later, right? What is this strange energy? Here's the alien Skell we were tasked to find. Looks as if it crashed here. Did it cause this part of Noctilum to change? Is that why there's tainted here?
No signs of any radiation. Infrared, motion sensors, I got nothing. This thing's dead as a doornail.
Oh, man! So it's basically a Skell, right? But the make is nothing like ours. Or the Ganglions. Where could it be from? Oh, wow! I can't even tell what its armor is made of!
What is this feeling? It's oppressive. It's pulsing off of this thing. It's almost as if the ghost of its pilot is somehow still lingering. And that material there, at its core, it's dark matter. This must be their handiwork. No idea. Alright, well, we got what we came here for. Let's call in the salvage choppers and get it out of here. Lynn, contact Commander Vandam.
On it.
Right. We should start heading back too.
Just thinking about walking past all those tainted again makes my knees all wobbly.
Tatsu have just the thing. Friends fuel up with Tatsu tasty lunchbox.
Tatsu?
What are you doing here?
Tatsu knew friends must be hungry, so Tatsu rides spinny plane here to deliver hot meal. Tatsu Hero Pon, after all.
Oh, you idiot! You're gonna attract the tainted!
Relax, Lindley. After quick lunch, Tatsu fly back home on Spinny Plane before anyone notice.
And how exactly do you plan to do that? All the spinny planes have already left! You're gonna have to walk back, through all those tainted! We'll last 10 seconds out here!
Huh?
Maybe we can get another chopper here in time.
Too late.
Looks like somebody else wants a hot meal.
Tatsu, don't move an inch, you hear?
Okay.
Come on!
Thank you, Tatsu. Don't worry, we can get ourselves out of this. These things are weak to ether and thermal, and also use physical and ether arts. This is why we need at least some kind of resistance to those elements. Or at least no negative resistance. Though we're taking on 3 at a time, they're at a lower level than what I recommended you start this chapter in. So they shouldn't be too hard. Just make sure your team is focusing on the same enemy you are. The faster each enemy is taken out, the better.
Iron Tristan!
Come on!
To me!
I won't give him a second special.
Upper hand!
Damn! Keep shooting!
Yeah. Now.
Appreciate it.
Shadow strike!
I'll make him hurt.
Balance breaker!
Did that work? Then move it
My
in.
forte, but if you insist.
Sliding sling! Upper hand! Slide next! Move in and do some damage!
Not my forte, but if you insist.
Shrapnel!
Cited black spell!
Arctic Horn!
Nice hit. Let's see another one.
My forte, but if you insist.
They're busted. Knock him over with
I'll take him
gunfire.
down.
Upper hand!
Eagle Eye!
Thanks.
Cited! Move in and do some damage!
Not my forte, but if you insist.
Shadow strike!
That the Alpha? Good lord.
Everyone, take him down.
They've seen us!
I'm in the zone. Let's plunge in and clean up.
Alright, this is the big one. This one's also weak to ether, but not as much as the others. Most of its arts are thermal and electric, with some physical, so this is why I recommended resistance on those as well. It can inflict blackout with flash, which can then topple you with bone charge. And when toppled, its electric arts deal more damage against you. So to prevent the full force of that deadly combo, aim for the tail and sever it so it can't use flash. It can also call other tainted into battle if you're not fast enough. I just recommend focusing solely on the Sphinx, as that's all you need to do to finish the battle. Also, now is a good time for you to use overdrive.
This should work.
Upper hand!
Arctic Horn!
Move in and do some damage. Side flash! Side flash!
Did that work? Then move it and
My
strike.
forte, but if you insist.
Side flash!
Nice hit. Let's see another one.
My forte, but if you insist.
Balance breaker!
Your auras. Be ready for any slide. Very good.
You want any?
Well, that was fun. Let's get the hell out of here. You've got to be kidding me. Hell is that? Was that thing trying to help us?
Maybe. Or maybe it was just toying with us.
Well, I think I could have taken it.
We should get back to New LA. I want to stop by the hangar and get a better look at that Skell.
Right.
I feel we were at our death knell. What the hell was that thing? Let's just skip travel back to NLA right now. Let's check out the Skell we brought back at the AD hangar.
Good work, people.
Commander? What are you doing out here? Did they seal off the area?
Actually, I was waiting for you, Lynn.
Why me?
You want to tinker with that new alien mech?
Well, I mean, duh.
Good, because I'm putting you in charge of research. You help reel it in, you get first crack at it. You and your team risked a lot out there. You earned it.
Really, sir?
Everything's set up. They're expecting you.
Yes, sir! Oh my god, thank you so much, Commander! Is this even a Skell? I mean, the external armor maybe, but I'm not detecting any known materials or components for the purple frame part. In fact, I can't even find a power source. Maybe it's like an idol or something? To some alien god or whatever?
What about a cockpit? Or any space for a pilot?
Let's see here. There is a cavity in the middle of the chest area. If this thing is a vehicle, that'd have to be the cockpit.
Perhaps it's not a weapon? It was abandoned after all, and in that godforsaken place.
But it was also worth the Ganglion sacrificing all those soldiers to try and recover it. Surely it must hold some value.
Granted. Now the question is whether we'll be able to uncover it. Ms. Ku is one of our best, but we can't expect her to work miracles.
If you ask me, that's time better spent studying that Ares of yours, Elma. Alright, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about, would you? Let me explain. The Ares is what Elma...
Random.
Oh, right. Those are your orders. Have I made myself clear?
Quite.
You seem displeased, Gajag. Perhaps the great hero of Roth does not enjoy taking orders from the Ganglion. Perhaps he feels it beneath him.
It appears nothing is beneath me of late.
I still hear the anger in your voice, the way you spit out the words. Accept your fate. Then you might find me a more accommodating master, Prince Jarg. Oh, but how rude of me. Should I have said former prince?
I never cared much for titles. Counselor Luxar.
It's Grand Master, damn you! The entire Ganglion organization is at my command, as are you and your people. I will not remind you again.
Oh, but how rude of me. My sincere apologies, Grand Counselor.
Have you also forgotten the price the Rothian people will pay if you fail me? I promise you, it will not be pretty. What will happen if the humans beat you to the prize? Need I remind you of that as well?
No, you need not.
Then mind your tongue, former prince. Unless your pride can feed and clothe your people. Filthy cur. Yet I will suffer him gladly, if he can help lead me to you, O Great One.
More intrigue about Elma. Interesting. Definitely seems to be a touchy subject for her. But now we know the name of the mech that she piloted, along with someone else. Seems to be that missing person that I talked about earlier. But now, the game tells us that we're eligible for using a Skell. Finally! But it's quite a long process to get a license, and we've already done a lot in this video. So, I'll have a separate video regarding the strenuous but rewarding process of being able to own a Skell. See you guys later!
And that material there, at its core, it's dark matter. This must be their handiwork. Oh, sorry. I'm fine, just thinking. Alright, well, we got what we came here for. Let's call in the salvage choppers and get